Basically, Xiao is playing for pride and, of course, £100 per frame. He got off on the back foot, did Xiao. Involved in the first two matches here on Table 1 yesterday morning, and he lost both of them 3-0. First to Martin Gould, then to Dave Gilbert. Really good chance to put some meaningful points together here, though. The intention there was to screw past that red. And although he knocks in the pot, position isn't attached. Well, what a great pot that was. What a recovery blue. Right into the heart of the pocket as well. No hint of making contact with the jaw. Excellent pot. Xiao has beaten Stephen Maguire a couple of times in world ranking events, both in his home country on Chinese soil. He won 5-4 when they met in the 2016 World Open, and also 5-2 in the last 32 of the 2013 Shanghai Masters, a tournament in which he ended up appearing in the final. He's actually been to two ranking finals, the other, the 2017 shootout. He's actually the third highest ranked Chinese player on the circuit, after, of course, Ding Junhui and the youngster Yan Bingtao. It's the 21st birthday today for a couple of the Chinese players out here on tour. Zhu Si, and also a former World Cup winner, Zhu Yulong. Well, it's been a hard road these last couple of days for Xiao Guodong, but at least he's getting some consolation here. This simple blue is frame ball. It's been a pretty good break, held together by that superb blue to the yellow pocket. We had 19 century breaks here on Monday and Tuesday in Group 5. We've only had 4 so far in Group 6, but this could be another. I think after the positional shot off the red, he was resigned to making some kind of contact with the black after potting the pink. Well, I'll tell you what, he's knocked in some cracking balls in this break. Didn't quite get the red off the side cushion, mind you. So, odds against now, a century. No century, but a very fine break of 94, nevertheless, from Xiao Guodong, who very quickly takes the opening frame in poor old Stephen Maguire so far. He's played 4 frames to... He had a very good day yesterday, Maguire. He beat Barry Hawkins 3-1, Ali Carter 3-2. And then Dave Gilbert 3-2. So he was set fair, but today yet to get started. Well, that's more like it. That really is one of the best shots we've seen in the 4 days of competition here this week. Tough pot, at pace, screwed back, and bang on the black. Under his breath, I don't know whether you heard him, he said, "Oh, Stephen." Couldn't quite believe that he misjudged that positional shot so much. The reason being, he caught the black actually too thick, and that's why the line and the pace of the cue ball wasn't what he wanted. But now, with the disappearance of that red, he might have done himself a backhanded favour. What a good pot that was. Again, taking the opportunity to split up more reds, and I think he might have been unlucky here. Maybe Maguire assumed at the very worst he was going to be on the red to the top right-hand pocket, but I don't think he can get through to that. Yes, very unlucky indeed. Well, a cracking pot from Xiao. Now, in the first frame, having run out of position, he knocked in a tremendous blue. On that occasion, it was to the yellow pocket. This time, it's in the opposite baulk pocket. Equally accurate. And now you have to classify this as a really good chance. "29 years of age now, Xiao Guodong. Been around for a while. He's not a member of the game's elite. But then again, I don't think you could possibly call him a journeyman either. Somewhere in between. I mentioned he'd been to 2 ranking finals. He's been to a total of 3 ranking event semi-finals and 11 quarter-finals. Well, I think Steve Maguire can consider himself unfortunate here in first after a terrific red. Unlucky the way he split the pack. Then Xiao knocked in that really good red from distance, and this is the consequence. Still can't help getting the feeling it's just too little too late. But of course, by winning this match, he could certainly act as a spoiler in terms of the group and dictate how it goes. Influence the semi-final lineup. Well, there's only one awkward ball on the table, the red on the left-hand side cushion, but by the time he arrives at that, the frame will be over anyway. The blue will place Xiao 41 in front, which means one more red in any colour, and again Maguire will require snookers. He's been the subject of heavy punishment so far today. Well, suddenly, he's queuing really well. Frame effectively over. Now Xiao narrowly missed out on a century in the first frame. Great opportunity for one here. This would be the 76th century in the Championship League this season. At this rate, more than likely by the end of the winners' group, there will be more than 100 compiled. Snooker is such an unpredictable game, having made no impact in his first 4 matches. Suddenly Xiao Guodong hit some really good form. Well, Xiao, like a phoenix from the ashes. As we said, he won only 3 frames in his first 4 matches, but in winning the first 2 in this contest, he's played delightfully. Now, if the red on the left-hand side of the table passes the black, which I believe it will, this could be another opening. Where's this form come from? Transformational. Now the reds go everywhere.
6.
And you're suddenly thinking, is it going to be 3-0? Does have choice of a couple. And although it was unavoidable, really, that the pink went down the table, at least it's in open play. And with Xiao in the zone, this could be over rapido. Now that wasn't played with authority. It sneaked in off the near jaw, and yet still he's short of the blue on the incorrect side of it. But weaves the cue ball in and out of baulk, past the brown. Helped, I suppose, there by the fact that the yellow wasn't on its spot. He just came around the table before he played that red to see whether the black definitely would pot. And of course it does. What a chance. The glorious unpredictability of snooker. Given what's gone before, how could you possibly forecast this? Well, what happened there? He was cueing a little awkwardly. He was slightly off balance, but the way he'd been playing, that was a real shock. From Maguire's perspective, a pleasant surprise.
8.
Just saw a replay of the black going into the middle pocket. While that was happening, he potted the very simple red that followed. And even if Maguire can't come back all the way into the match and win 3-2, which of course he's more than capable of, every single frame at this stage counts and can make the difference. Well, the second time of asking, he does fully dislodge the red. Partially a couple of shots ago. And now the other awkward red is removed from the side cushion as well.
28.
Well, what a kick that was. Maguire couldn't believe it. That was an absolutely thumping contact. Like two boulders making contact with each other. That was not his fault. Terrible contact. And so for the second time in the match, Maguire unlucky. But there, fortunate. Second chance. Well, again, out of the ordinary. That seemed to be a really big bounce. Stephen Maguire said, I can't seem to get £100. Of course, he lost his first match today, 3-0 to Martin Gould. 2-0 down here. Drawn a blank so far on this Thursday. He's played some nice snooker this week, Maguire. Had 5 centuries in Group 5. Lost out in the semi-finals to Mark Selby. easiest pot, of course, is the blue. Maybe the best pot for position. Well, with his cue pair, he deems it to be the green. And that is why. Sweet striking. What a well-timed shot. Actually, just marginally too well-timed. Cracking pot, that. And then he overcuts the red. Unbelievable. What a strange old frame this has been. Now there's only one place surely where the cue ball's going to go here. Right in behind the yellow for what would be a fiendish snooker. Don't hesitate, Xiao. You know you're going to play it. He's obtained the snooker, but might have left it even more awkward than this, because at least Maguire can see this right-hand side cushion. And came very close to making contact at the first attempt. Excellent. Absolutely superb. Not just hitting the red, leaving nothing. But Xiao, with the thin skim, gets the Scot back in trouble. With those 4 points of a penalty variety added to his tally, Xiao is now only 4 points adrift. Maguire changes tack, hits the red, but Xiao here surely will play this to leave the cue ball where the red is, take the red up into baulk, and Maguire again is going to be in a trap, or at least he should have been. He can see this red. So often when you play that kind of shot, if you catch them too thick, it's not good. The clear obstacle here is the yellow. Well, Maguire's got some angle. I think he would like a little bit more than he's got. Ten points in front, so green, brown and blue required. Winning his first frame of the day, proving rather frustrating. At least he didn't leave the green on, and that was more by luck than judgment. One of those situations this where, although Maguire is 10 in front, there's not that much in it, you know, because Maguire needs, as I said before, green, brown and blue. Xiao only needs the pink in addition to that. Maybe one good raking long pot away here from being on the verge of 3-0. There's the pot, screwed back too much, played for the brown into the green pocket. Too much action on the white. Another good pot, but position is proving tantalisingly elusive. 3 behind, so needs blue and pink. So easy to overcut this kind of shot. But not Xiao, not today. What a turn up for the books. He's got this to beat Maguire 3-0. There goes the pink. Well, it's been a strange old day so far for Stephen Maguire. 2 matches played, 2 3-0 defeats.